I was telling them before the rest of you came on that I have this headache.
Oh.
So I've got to remember to ring the bell in the pretend way. Pretend ring, or at least move my head away from it because it's like really right there.
A virtual ring.
Tell me when, I'll go ring.
You need like temple bells or something instead of the big bell when you have a headache. Just a little relaxing sound.
Yeah, I do. I need to find, I have them outside, but then I'd be down there in the garden and you guys would be up here.
We could contact Humboldt State Music Department and, find a variety of different instruments to use.
It's true. I was thinking when you said that initially that you were going to contact them and have them ring the big bell on campus. I'm like, wow, that would be good.
We don't have that kind of connection yet.
So it'd be like the call to prayer. It'd be the call to Rotary,
Just need a mild
It
triangle.
ring at 7. You can't all hear it. I can.
That's true. That's true. Well, we'd have to have every church in town just ring for us. It's right at 7. And that would, in all towns. Yes. Well, it's 7 o'clock. People are coming. And Matt's got his hard hat on. That's good. I'm worried, though. I don't know what it means. He might know something we don't know. What does it say?
LP, yes we can. Ask Craig Newman about
it. Looks like it's an antique.
Ask Craig Newman about it.
Okay, I will when I see him. Where is Craig? Is he here yet? No. All right. I'm gonna fake ring the bell. Here we go. That was good. All right. Welcome everyone. Good to see you all. And I'm looking to see if people are hopping on. I'm looking to see if we have anybody any company here today. I don't see anybody so far. If any of you do, I don't see everyone on my screen, unfortunately. So that on your screens, if you see anybody who we want to make sure gets introduced, please pipe up. Pipe in, pipe up.
So far, it's just us.
All right. It's a secret club. And here's our vision. And, August is membership month. And so one thing I haven't been able to do or had time to do is recognize some members for things that they've been experiencing in the last couple months. So I'm going to start today. We're going to see, first of all, one of the things that I want to mention about recognizing current members is encouraging all of us to stay in touch with members who are unable to make the meetings. And also for you to let us know what you need for us to support you, and stay in touch. When things are happening, let us know what we can do. But today it's good news. We're going to see if any of our birthday people are here. We'll go through the list. Lori, are you here today yet so far? Dan's not here because we did not invite him to speak, so he's not here. Kyle's not here. Romi, you are here. Do you want to tell us about your birthday?
Let's have Terri go first. I don't remember. Okay,
Terri, you want to go first?
I'm older. You should go first. But, I had a great birthday. I celebrate the whole month. And my sister always starts it off like early in July because to her a month is like a month from, when she starts to when it's not. So it was really fun. Marty and I had a great time. We had sushi and Charlie Murphy delivered me a blackberry pie about 7:30 that night that was still warm. And we just were having, anyway, it was a great birthday. So thank you.
Nice.
Happy birthday, Romi.
Happy birthday, Terri. So I started the day with the people I love so much. My husband, Glenn, Jessica, and my brother, James, and my dad and his wife, and Glenn. We have a tradition where when our kids were little, we would wake them up with cake first thing in the morning and sing Estas son las mañanitas, and they get to eat cake for breakfast. And one of my daughters decided that she didn't want cake, and that turned into quiche. And so a pie, but actually savory pie. So Glenn made beautiful quiche, and we sat around the fire pit and in our backyard, socially distanced, and from my dad anyway. And it was a wonderful way to start the day. I didn't have my daughters, but they were there. Anyway, it was sweet, and kind of like every day went this summer, figuring out how to be an online teacher. But I did buy some gray boots, and that makes always a good thing to do on your birthday. Buy some boots.
Yeah. All right. Nice. Howard. Oh, you're still muted.
I was saying I had an unusually good birthday. First off, I got calls from both of my adult children. Noah, who lives in Grants Pass, and Sarah, who lives in Eugene. They both called me. And also my youngest brother, who lives back on the East Coast, called me. That was a little bit unexpected. But the most special thing that occurred was we have the former Plaza poet, Jacqueline, who set up Poet Office on the Plaza. Some of you remember her.
Yeah.
You would talk to her briefly, and then she'd write a poem about you and give it to you. She lives in a commune across the street from us in Bill Thompson's former house, which is now a poetry, an artist commune. So my wife went over and visited her, and she composed a poem for me for my birthday. So that was very unusual and special.
Nice.
And finally, I had rack of lamb for supper, which is one of my favorite meals. So it was a very good birthday for me. Thanks for asking.
Oh, all right. And right after you were born, plus a few years, we had Tomas.
Yeah, I had a really nice birthday. Hooked up the travel trailer, and the family and I went east on the 36th for about 6 days. We went to the Wild Horse Ranch in Platina, California, where there's not much out there. That's just what we were looking for. So we had a really neat time just exploring, and kids caught about 1 million lizards, and we fished, and we just had a really good time. And then we spent 3 nights at Ruth Lake Campground with some of our good friends out there on the water. Everything I could ask for getting out of town. Having no cell service is a blessing, and then it's a curse when you get home and look at your email. But it was fun.
Great. I don't know, Jennifer, is she here today? Today is her birthday.
Yes, I'm here. I'm still in bed. I've been at work all week, but I don't have to work today, except for this evening. My department's coming over to do a kind of socially distanced planning/cocktail party in my front lawn. So it's my 40th, and 40 and quarantined. Yep.
Yeah, well, we wanted to make sure you didn't go too crazy, so we set this whole COVID thing up just to protect you. So
Great. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you.
Yeah, we do what we can out there in the world. And so we have a couple birthdays haven't happened yet. Ashley, I don't know if you are here and can tell us your plans, or you want to wait. And I don't know if she's here. But I know Steve is here. Steve, have you figured out what you're going to do for your birthday, or is it all going to be a big surprise?
I'm not really sure what is going to happen at this point. you know, our house, which is now full of people, I got one of my sons and his girlfriend are moving down to Albany. So big shift for them. They're ones who graduated in June, and you know, been trying to like wait out this COVID thing, but there's going to be shifting gears, and so they will be down there. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just probably going to ride my bike in the woods, which is one of my favorite things to do. And who knows what? Maybe I'll have cake or a quiche or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's all to be determined.
All to be determined, yes.
So now is one of my favorite times, is when we all try to sing together. So Dick, where are you? Could you, I mean, for a lot of good it's going to do, but can you get us started? Everyone unmute yourself. Or I'm going to mute myself so I can pretend to be singing so you don't hear me. No, okay. All right, Dick, unmute yourself. And everybody, if you're muted, I know you're cheating.
I can get it started. I don't know if we'll end in the same place, but let's go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you.
Awful.
Next time we should just let the people who can really sing. I will mute myself in honor of that. And
yeah, lip sync.
You know, I think that's a good idea, because I noticed a lot of people were muting themselves, and I've muted myself before just not to ruin it. So so maybe we need to get our choir going so that we can show some respect to our birthday people. That was respectfully fun. We did that.
Great. Ian, amazing.
Yes. Okay, goodness gracious. So I have, I also have the anniversaries, and I didn't know if we would have enough time to do them. And I think we might here, but I'm gonna go to a couple other things first, and then while somebody else is talking, I'm gonna bring up the anniversary list. Okay, so we'll get to that in a few minutes. But I wanted to harass and harangue us a little bit more. No, I wanted to share the fundraising stuff and just remind you that we still have the virtual sale going. And one of the things, Rebecca, are you here? Because if you're here?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, so when we started putting together the virtual fundraiser stuff, and everyone kind of, you know, went through their garage or went through whatever and said, oh, here, I can do this, I can do that. You know, for a lot of us, it was pretty quick to be able to just put those things, you know, out there and let them know about it. But Rebecca went above and beyond, and I don't know if people haven't had a chance to see, but I wanted to showcase some of the items that Rebecca put together, because I want to showcase these, and then I want to propose that we as club members purchase these items so that we can donate them to, I'm thinking of a few different groups, but Boys and Girls Club is one, and when I show them to you, you'll understand why. And Rebecca, do you want to, I have them all copied. I know she looks busy, doesn't she, for 7 in the morning? What is she doing?
Well, I'm making coffee, like, you know, I mean, right?
That's okay. Keep going.
We make breakfast, we make coffee. I don't know about all these people who are just sitting. You're on my phone. I'm always doing stuff, taking walks.
I know. I would be running around in circles. I would be doing my morning workout. I would be doing like 20 or 30 push-ups. What else would I be doing? But I'm busy here trying to keep us all together. So that's my story. So, so I wanted to talk about looking at purchasing these items for Centro del Pueblo or for Boys and Girls Club. And I want to just show them to you because she put together a bunch of different really cool items. This is a science project. She's got this tent with things to do in the tent. She's got a flight, something about flying. There's even a flight attendant there whose hair really needs to be tied back or something. I don't know what she's got going on.
And Maggie, I would also like it noted that so all these kits have themes, and all these kits are somewhat gender neutral. They include both awesome, you know, planes and toys and dolls and necklaces and art stuff. So they're intended to be very, it was very specific when I put them together. Well, this is one of my favorites.
Let's go back.
I Felt You. That's that's mostly Claire's stuff, all the felt, and then a bunch of googly eyes. There's a pair of electric scissors with that one. There's a loom for making hats and instructions. There's yarn for making hats in that.
Yeah.
Oh, this one is the best. I almost want to just buy this one myself, but this is the quote unquote kids work from home kit. And it includes stuff for a computer scientist. There's actually a computer in there. It technically needs a new cord, but it's an amazing little Windows XP computer. It includes stuff to be a teacher. It includes, I forget the list. An event planner. So it's got like a picture and a bunch of napkins. Yeah. And then these are a bunch of, beading and jewelry crafting kits. When Scrap Humboldt went out of business, I went crazy. And this was really good, because if I didn't have this outlet to organize and get some of this stuff out, my garage would be filled with Scrap Humboldt stuff. So these are all little jewelry kits to make, just different necklaces or whatever. Everyone comes with like little chains and stuff like that. Ooh, these are also very, very cool. They're robot kits. They're also, I tried to be very gender neutral with these as well. They're the silver and gold and the colorful. So each pile there actually comes in a little bag, and so you can give it to a kid and they can make a little robot out of it. So they've got like googly eyes, and they've got pieces to, ideally someone would have some glue, but the colorful one actually comes with some string and wire. Kids could pretty much do the colorful one without any other materials. Scrap Humboldt had those kinds of things. Yep, another just fun kit. It's got a couple games. It's got a whole box of cars or box of trucks. It comes with little trophies. So if you wanted to create little races, you could have little trophies. They've got crayons, paper. This one has like a whole nice dolls that you can see there too. Princess dolls. They've got furniture. They've got like a cat baby. Let's see. More jewelry kits. I was really proud of my staging there with the ruler, so you could see how big it was, and the black cloth. So, yeah. Thanks, Maggie. It was a fun art project for me.
Good. So I think that was just amazing. I wanted to call it out because if you haven't gone on to see the sale yourself, you would have missed all of those terrific kits. So what I wanted to do is see if we couldn't all chip together to buy these, and then we could donate them to some of the groups that are helping families and helping kids, give them some kind of something else to do. And so she priced all these very, very reasonably. When I added up the pricing for them, it was only altogether was only about $300. So that's basically what I'm asking for. If anybody wants to donate anything to that, you could put it in the chat, and then you can just put the amount in the chat. And then if you'd like to go ahead and Venmo that to us, and just say, call it the virtual garage sale, and then we'll sort it all out. But that would be awesome. I'd love to see that. And And could somebody do me the favor of keeping track of what's in chat? Can somebody write that down?
I'm on it, Maggie.
I
got
Stephanie's on it because Stephanie's on it. He's made this sale. You know, and I want to say, Claire, are you here, Claire? Did you sell your canoe?
Yes,
I
she
sold
did.
my canoe. I sold my 2 cupboards.
So frankly, the sale has been, it served its purpose. We sold her canoe, and without her canoe, I don't know if this sale would have happened. So I want to really thank Claire for all the effort, and Stephanie for hustling so much. And Ian, I know you helped with some of that setting up and stuff. So we're not done with the sale yet, but maybe next week we'll be able to report in a little bit more on where we're at. And I just can't thank you guys enough. You just rocked it. So, and when you're done, Stephanie, when you've got all those, you can let us know how much we've donated for that. Thank you.
So far we're up to 250. Oh, 300.
All right. Yoo-hoo. So we've got the Sunrise Scramble coming up, not this Saturday, but the Saturday after. And Dustin, are you here? There you are. You want to tell us anything we need to know?
No, just go review the email that was sent out and sign up if you can. We met last night and kind of revamped our volunteer strategy, essentially cutting the volunteers that we need in half. And what really we're going to do is have a command center where our volunteers text in kind of the bets and stuff that are going on. So it minimizes the amount of people we actually need on the course, which is pretty awesome. So just please volunteer if you can. If you feel comfortable out there, we'll find a space for you. Just indicate if you want to be there the full day, first half of the day, or second half of the day, and we'll brief you on what we need you to do. And if you want to help out during the week, just kind of helping us do logistics kind of stuff, like rounding up sponsor signs or contacting certain people, that would be helpful too. And contact me directly for that. Otherwise, everything looks good, and we appreciate all the support so far, and hopefully it'll be a fun, safe day out on the course. So, yeah.
Great. Thank you. So I think I've got something up here. Let's see if it happens. Oh, here we go. There we go. So we've got some anniversaries. Is it there? It's on my, okay. So lots of people get married in the summer. I don't know what that's about. I guess it's because that's when you're supposed to do it. John, are you here? And I want to
and I'm unmuted.
advance for not giving you, some of you, fair warning that your anniversary is coming up. I know that might have been helpful. Normally, it's our job to remind some of you that your anniversary is coming up, and I got behind. So apologize for that. John.
My wife says to say that we celebrate our love every day of the year. We had a wonderful day at home.
Right. Well, and when you're married and you can still say that, that's good. How many years has it been, John?
24.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so that's good. Congratulations. Steve.
Well, my wife and I have been married 26 years. And on our anniversary day, we did something really exciting, which is we went and we got takeout food, and we walked up to HSU and sat at Founders Hall and ate it there on a bench and watched the beautiful sunset. But that was really just the ruse of the whole thing, because I'd been planning for a while for a little surprise at home. We were going to be going to France this summer, and of course all that got canceled. But since we had bought a new refrigerator recently, I used the refrigerator box and painted the entire refrigerator box and got all my kids at home to paint a scene of a Paris street restaurant on this piece of cardboard and set it up in our living room and with a dinner table and so forth. And I managed to get my wife out of the house for a while to go for a little a hike in the afternoon, the day after our anniversary. And as we're coming home, my wife says, gee, let's go out and, get something at the brewery or some food or something. I said, well, let's stop at home first. And of course, when we get home, our whole living room was all decorated as this street restaurant, and the kids were wearing, they were dressed in fancy clothes, and it was really, really fun. The kids waited on us, and we had dinner in France in our living room, which was awesome. And this giant cardboard backdrop, we sort of set it up in another room of our house, and eventually I'm going to have to get rid of it because it's too big. But we had a great time.
That's awesome. And, don't get rid of it, because I think some of us also would like to go to France, and I'll just borrow it. And
yeah, it was the cheapest foreign vacation I ever had.
Yeah. No jet lag. No, gosh.
No jet lag, no.
No bills that come in the mail, and you're like, did I really
do that? Yeah.
It translates to dollars? Wait a second.
Exactly.
Very cool. Very cool. Amanda, how about you?
Nothing so exciting as a in-home international vacation, but we were down in the Bay Area helping in-laws, and we had a lovely dinner with my mother-in-law and grandparents. So that was our nice anniversary.
And Brandon?
Yeah, we went and got sushi spot and just took it to the beach at Moonstone. And it was actually a hot day, which is kind of weird. So yeah, just sat there and ate sushi on the beach. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, hot days aren't weird anymore, but then you were still thinking it was weird. So now it's just
weird.
Yeah, whatever. Bryan.
Morning. We went up to Prairie Creek for quite a little run. Had a little picnic on the beach. Got chased by an elk. It was quite an experience. Like, not just chased by an elk, but elk was like right in our face, and I had to like do maneuvers and clap and stuff just to get out of the way. So apparently you're not supposed to get that close to an elk that has a baby in the woods. But then after that, we had takeout at the campground and took it home and ate around the table, and it was good. We had a good anniversary. 23 years.
Wow. So you went for a run and then you had to run again?
So yeah, so we, out in the distance, there was just one lone elk sitting off the trail about 50 yards, and we thought, we just walked by it really slowly, and all of a sudden it just started walking toward us, and then next thing you know, it starts running toward us, and it was literally right in our face, and we thought we were going to be on one of those shows, that says you didn't survive or something like that, but we survived. So if you're ever with an elk, you clap really loud and it runs away.
That doesn't sound like a benevolent and protective order of elk.
Well, and the other thing about being on one of those shows where you don't make it is someone has to videotape it. And I'm really glad that you guys, weren't sitting there telling me, well, we got really close to videotape the elk, because then I would say, yeah, you could have videotaped your demise, but I'm glad it didn't go. We
were 1 mile into an 8-mile run, and we couldn't go backwards. And my wife was yelling at me that I took her out in the wilderness and had almost killed her. But we made it through. So our love is stronger after I saved her.
Good plan. How much did you have to pay that elk? All right. Julie, I don't know if Julie's here today. I don't think she is. And Romi.
Glenn and I went on a great hike. It was our 32nd anniversary, and COVID has really sent us out walking and hiking, and so it's been super fun. We have found new roads and new trails in Arcata and Arcata Forest that we'd never walked on before. We're usually looking for a little trail to take our mountain bikes on. So it was fun. And we found one with squirrely little jumps and all sorts of stuff that some kids built. And then we had to climb through bushes and drag our bikes on the ground to get out, but it was super fun.
Great. I love how it used to be when we talked about anniversaries, it was like, oh, I went to Larrupin's. And now it's like everyone's doing all kinds of things that you could have done before COVID, but it just didn't happen. So this is nice. Nice to.
Oh, and I forgot a birthday shout out. James and Jessica took me on kayaking on Trinity River, and I forgot that. It was a few days later, but it sure did make my birthday month. Thanks, Jess.
It counts. All right. Is Brian P here? Not seeing Brian. Jessica. You can do it.
I got it. So Romi said that we went rafting, and that was actually on our anniversary. So I've been on James. I'm like, I want to go rafting. So we rented a couple of tandem boats, which the woman, when we checked him out, she was like, yeah, sometimes we call these the divorce boats. But fortunately, both of us, or all four of us, managed to make it down the river without any threat of divorce, or that we were going to jump out of the boat at each other or anything like that. We had a great time on the river. And then we came home and we got takeout and we ate at home. And it was lovely. And let's see. So we celebrated 10 years married, 21 years together.
Wow, great.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
That's awesome. Siva's not here, I don't think. And now we're getting into the hasn't happened yet. But Terri, do you want to tell us now what your plans are, or you want to wait and tell us afterwards?
Oh, I'll tell you now because I'm a planner. So it's our anniversary is not actually until noon today. We've been married 38 years. And back in May, I bought the catered dinner for 4 from Brett Shuler because I really like his cooking and I wanted to help him. So tomorrow night, he is bringing us dinner for 4, and we're going to eat half of it tomorrow night and the other half the next night because we're not having people over for our anniversary. So he put together a lovely menu of lobster bisque and a salad and lamb with huckleberries and a mushroom potato au gratin, and we're probably going to start with the end of the menu, which is a chocolate coconut torte. And that's the part that there may not be leftovers for Sunday night for that part. But anyway, we are going to do our usual stuff today. Marty's got Rotary at noontime, and we'll take a walk and talk to the cats, and I'll probably work on a quilt. And our post-COVID life is not a whole lot different than our pre-COVID life.
Yeah, well, it sounds yummy. And you sent me the menu, and I'm looking at it and going, gosh, why is she sending me this? This looks so good. I'm like, why is she doing that? So because I'm like, I know I'm not invited, so it's obviously just letting me know. But I think it was to just let me know that she's using the thing that she purchased from Brett. So that's awesome. That's wonderful. And Ray, I don't think we have Ray here today. Randy, yours is coming up. Is this helpful to remind you, or did you have it already in your head?
Oh, I'm a master husband. I always remember. My iPhone helps too. No, it's number 31. So probably Larrupin. So we've, because I think even before we were married, we've gone there. So I think that we've gone there just about every anniversary, but we might do takeout. We'll do something fun, but it's likely to be Larrupin because we really like their caramel chocolate cake. That's probably, maybe if we just have that.
Maybe they'll give you can order a whole cake and just take it away. They'll take it off the menu because you'll take it all yourselves, but that sounds yummy.
I don't dare because I would eat it all. I have no willpower.
I know. Yeah. And Ian.
So Randy, I got a tip for you. We're not brave enough, but if you are, Larrupin is
now opening their patio for 2 seatings at 5 and 7. And I think, Elizabeth and I always see you up there practically every other year on our anniversary. So hope you enjoy. We're going to do the same. We're going to spend the weekend in Trinidad and just lay low. And our favorite dessert there is the Corps la Creme.
Well, very nice. Thank you, all of you, for sharing a little bit about what you've done or what you're doing. We appreciate hearing the stories, and I'm glad you all survived. Survived your anniversaries. It sounds like it's something to be concerned about now. Anyway, we're not going to sing happy anniversary because, well, we don't want to wreck it for you. But happy anniversary, everybody. So I'm going to get out of this because this is the wrong one. And then I have one more slide I want to share with you, and then we're going to go to our presentation here. Let me just pull it up. Let's see. So I wanted to share this because it looks like it could be a fun opportunity in September for us. The coastal cleanup this year is, they're encouraging us to clean up in our own neighborhoods and not all go out to the beach. They're also encouraging it every Saturday in September, not one day, just to keep us all away from each other. So I thought it would be something that we all can do at home, or at our place of work. I also know that the plaza and around, the downtown Arcata area could sometimes use a little cleaning. So I wanted to put it out there. Maybe we can, certainly do it on your own. I'm going to go out and clean up around the house I live in here because it's on a corner and things kind of seem to blow in, but then they don't blow out again. So I'm going to do some of that, but just wanted to encourage folks to think about keeping our beaches clean and keeping our ocean clean. And as they say, everything, it starts on the street. It starts with what we have that we let blow into the ocean or gets dumped there or whatever. So I thought that would be fun for us to do as a project. And if people want to organize and do it together somewhere with keeping distancing, then let me know. Let's do it. We can do that. All right. So
if you do that, please, I'm sorry. If you do that, please take pictures of it and share it with Maggie, and then Maggie can share it with the rest of us. And you can also share it on social media and share it to our Facebook page and other places.
Yes, and that reminds me, but I had a slide. I'll share it again next month because I don't have it up right now, but we are looking for somebody who will help us with keeping our web page up to date. If any of you have skills in that area, would like to help or would like to learn some of those skills, please let us know. It's really important now, especially that our webpage has things on it. It's not as much for us as it is for people who want to see what we're doing, and other Rotarians, visiting Rotarians, or people who just have heard of Rotary and want to see what Arcata is doing. If we don't have it up to date, then people think you don't want a dead webpage. So if anyone's interested in that, let us know. And we'll talk more about what that entails next week. So I want to remind people, I know it's kind of a bummer that the raffle, somebody won it. I mean, it's not a bummer, it's good, but it means it's now a bummer because it's not as much money as it used to be. And the only way it's going to get there is if we all buy tickets and don't win for a while. So let's buy tickets and not win. Yay. Wait a minute. That's
awesome. Gift certificates too.
Are there still gift certificates in there?
I think I just read that somewhere.
Oh, well, see, somebody can read. I can't. I don't have, oh, okay. So
still
Lisa donated back the $25 gift certificate to Health Sport and the $25 gift certificate to Kinetic Coffee.
Nice. Okay. So so that's so people buy tickets, and we'll do the raffle after our presentation, so you have a little bit more time. And Dustin, before, do you want to say what you want to say now?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention, if you have cutouts of people, cardboard cutouts, please, and if you want to let us use it for the day, please let us know. We want to put cardboard cutouts of people at the hole so it looks like there's a audience watching them, and it makes it more fun. So just let me know if you guys have any stand-up or even, you know, half-size cutouts, and we'll put them on the course and make it look like they're at Pebble Beach with like a pro. So anyway, thanks for that.
You want France? So we have a France hole?
Yeah, we'll take anything. We'll just laughing it up. Whatever you got, we'll take. We'll make it fun.
All right, very good. So, so now we're going to hear from Randy about the Arcata Fire District, and I've asked him to help us understand, you know, the pros and cons of this particular this measure, because I know there was a measure a while back that didn't pass, and I think sometimes people don't always know the facts or know what things are going to happen, and so this is an opportunity for us to learn a little bit more about was it Measure F, and be able to ask some questions. And if people want more information after this presentation, we can certainly get it for you. So Randy, I'm going to turn it over to you. Whoops, no, you don't get that. Do you have a slideshow that you want to share, Randy, or are you going to just talk?
I was going to try to keep it simple. I do have some slides if there are questions that require details, but for the most part, I don't want to have any technical glitches. So, but we can try it. I have some slides if it's needed.
Okay, well, go ahead then. We'll turn it over to you.
Well, thank you. You know, first of all, I have to say, I'd be really interested to see the club's cardboard cutout collection to see what you come up with. So that would tell a lot about our club, what kind of cardboard cutouts we have. I don't have any, just for the record. So thanks for having me here. Yes, this is kind of a discussion on Measure F, letting people know what it is, answering questions. That's my job. Our club, the Rotary Club of Arcata Sunrise, has a big connection to this. Our spring fundraiser was started for the firehouse building project. And we worked with the fire district and the volunteers for about 10 years, I believe, raised about $300,000, and that went towards the major remodel of the downtown fire station in Arcata. So our club had a big part of that. It's really a great story about how the volunteers, the Arcata Volunteer Fire Association, is like a booster club. They do a huge savings for the taxpayers. They basically are a 501c3 and also a C4. They have a holdings, and they basically rent that building out to the fire district. So and the taxpayers have saved a ton of money because of them. So we can talk more about that later if there is time. So April 2017, I believe, I was sitting having breakfast, minding my own business in the Plaza View room back in the good old days, having at a Rotary meeting, and in came the fire chief, and he was doing a report on the fire district, and he was looking for a board member because they had someone leave. Now, the fire district is set up into 5 divisions because, so you represent the area that you live. And they were looking for somebody that lived in the North Arcata area. And the fire chief knew where I lived because when he was a kid, he used to feed our animals when we went on vacation. So he kind of pointed at me and he goes, "You." Well, okay, so history, I ended up on the board of the Arcata Fire District, and it's become my Rotary super committee. And lately, it's become a part-time job because there's a lot to do about letting people know what Measure F is. So people are asking, why Measure F now? Well, mainly the fire district has not had any tax increases for 14 years. So, we've been trying to operate on a shoestring, and it's, but the cost of doing business, paying the bills for 3 fire stations, trained firefighters 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year is, it's just, we just hit the wall. And, the last couple of years, the district has burned through reserves and lived through budget shortfalls with, we've been sending, because as California's been burning, communities have been wiped out. We've wanted to do our part. We've sent a fire engine to other communities. And because, you really feel that, because when we have disasters up here, like the flood of '64, the rest of the state came up and helped rescue us. So it's really kind of something that you really want to do if you can. So we have, in last years, sent a fire engine out to some of these devastation scenes in other communities. But along with that does come some reimbursement from the state and the federal government. So, so we've been using some of that to get by. But, we really can't kick the can down the road any longer. The district is now down 8 firefighter positions. And it's just not enough to staff 3 fire stations. So we don't have anybody that we could, there's just no way we can even go into stress mode anymore to send a fire engine to these burning communities in our neighboring counties, because we can't even cover our own. So what is Arcata Fire? It's 5 communities serving 37,000 people. So it's called Arcata Fire, but it's been, and that's a whole other subject. Why is it called Arcata Fire? And that's one of the big confusions that people have. And it goes back into the 1800s. So that's a discussion that we can certainly have down the road. It's a sacred thing for a lot of people. So it's not just going to be an easy thing about changing the name Arcata Fire, but basically Arcata Fire Protection District covers Arcata, McKinleyville, Manila, Bayside, Jacoby Creek. So that's a 62 square mile area serving 37,000 people. So in the March midterm election, that was Measure R, that's what Maggie talked about, is it lost by only 3%. So, the district felt that, we just have to ask the taxpayers, for permission to see if we can, get some more funding, because the fire, we're hitting the wall. It's turned into a crisis, really. And after the midterm Measure R initiative lost, it only lost by 3%. And after that, we learned that people really weren't informed. So many people didn't know anything about Arcata Fire District, and they didn't receive accurate information. We clearly did not do a good job getting accurate information out. And it seems like, especially in the McKinleyville area, it became common for people to ask all of us, like, why doesn't the city of Arcata use sales tax for fire protection? And, the point is that the fire district has its own board. It's not connected with the city of Arcata or the county in any way. We have to find our own funding. It's a California special district. And under the California special district laws, our funding is really related to property taxes. If you look at Humboldt Bay fire in Eureka, that's a Joint Powers Authority, a JPA. So they receive a big chunk of their funding from the city of Eureka, which can do other taxes, so we just can't compare. This is really the only avenue that we can we're able to get funded. So for these measures, they have to pass by 2/3 of the voters. So that's a pretty steep curve. And the fact that Measure R was only 3%, lost by only 3%, and people, and there were so many people that didn't know about it, our board really felt obligated to ask again, because it was, and in this time, there's a group called Friends of Measure F, which is a group of citizens that have swooped in to help. And it's a group of about 25 local citizens who have really helped. So we really weren't politicians. We really weren't, it was just a small group of us that tried to do Measure R. And now we have a group of people that are actually doing a lot of the heavy lifting. I'm here today by myself because we didn't bring the fire chief, because we have the fire chief and the battalion chief. Between the two of them, they're running 7 days a week, running the duty. So some of us are trying to carry some of these tasks. So if there's questions that I can't answer, I'll get them to you, but I'll do my best. So the mission of the Friends group is to get accurate information out so that people can choose whether they want to vote yes or no on Measure F. That's really our main goal, is as long as people can understand, they have the information, then vote what you want. But we really did a disservice by not getting enough word out before, when we did the Measure R. So this is what people need to know. This is not a drill, as I like to say. If Measure F fails by, it doesn't get the 2/3 majority, there's going to be dire consequences. And as a board member representing you all, I will at least be able to sleep at night knowing I did everything possible to help my constituents make informed choices when they voted. And I'll tell you, the feeling when Measure R failed made me sick, because we've had to go into rotating station closures. It's very stressful on staff. It's a recipe for bad things to happen. A 62 square mile district. We had 3 fire stations. We only have 2 firefighters on each fire engine in those 3 stations. So that's like 6 firefighters at a time covering our 62 square mile area. And the problem, it worked, historically, we're industry-wide, there's usually 3 the industry standard is 3 firefighters on each engine. I know in some areas, I spend a lot of time at San Luis Obispo, they have 4, for instance, they have 4 firefighters on each engine. We have 2, because that's all our little district can afford. So that worked because, for the most part, because they were spaced apart. And, so when a fire engine would be going in one direction, there would be another fire engine 5 minutes behind. But when we lost those 8 firefighters because of the budget and job insecurity from the loss of Measure R, everything changed. So now we have it was a big discussion. We had to rotate, basically the public discussion ended up to where the district is trying to rotate. So that everybody in the district gets equal share of what's left of the fire district. Every community has to go dark for 1 week, and we're just rotating it. That's the best we can. And it really is terrible. It's really dangerous for our firefighters, and it's dangerous for our community, because when you dial 911, and for a fire engine, minutes make a difference, whether it's for a medical aid call or for a fire. I mean, lives make a difference, and for a fire, minutes make a difference in damage. So right now we've had a couple major fires. Like we've had a fatality in Arcata earlier this year where someone died in an apartment fire. We luckily had 2 fire stations staffed nearby. If that happened now, I don't know what we would do. So it really is something that's kept me awake at night. And I didn't really think that this would happen, but that's where we're at. So,
Randy, I think there's a couple questions that people have, and Mike has one, and then I also have one. Go ahead, Mike.
Randy, I have read all of the articles in the Mad River Union. I think I know the need. What I'm most concerned about is my taxes going up, and I think everybody feels the same way. I want it to be fair. I know the need and that this needs to happen, but up here in McKinleyville, there are some very, very large landowners. Are they going to be paying the amount equal to their holdings as I'm going to be paying for my single family home?
No, and that's a good question, and that was just coming up. So no, so it is set up in a chart, and I can mail it to you, or I can pop it up.
Randy, are you looking at slides?
I have one in front of me here.
Because we can't see it.
No, I'm not. I wasn't gonna.
Oh, okay.
I was just going to tell you that basically for a, I'm just looking at the list here. So for vacant land, you know, you are currently paying $22, and for the benefit assessment and the tax, it basically would be $52 a year. So right now, if the best example is I'll do a single family dwelling without acreage or additional units. So they say like the typical Furtado house in McKinleyville. Owners pay $20 a year from the 1997 special tax. And then they pay $88 from what they call a benefit assessment that took place in 2006. The total is $108 a year. So if Measure F passes, it will be an increase of $98 a year. So it will be a total of $118 a year. So if you go for, I'm just looking at the list here, for a commercial, will be, if Measure F passes, it will go up from, they will get an additional $546, which will be the for a commercial. So it's based on use. It's based on the type of equipment the district has to maintain, based on training, based on call history, on what the best estimate is as to what it takes to respond to emergencies at these. So there's several categories. Mobile home parks are one of the lowest. That would be, they're currently paying $66 a year. It would be a $90 increase for $156 a year. So does that kind of answer?
I think that helps give a good sense of what the change is, because I think everybody always is like, what's going to happen to me? Carol had a question, and Carol, do you want to ask your question?
Well, I think it's kind of related to the previous question. It seemed to me that there was a small group in opposition to Measure R, but perhaps we're spreading some misinformation. And I just wondered, Randy, if you could address what some of those arguments were and if any of those were misguided or misinformed.
Well, yes. I know both of those guys. It's Uri Driscoll and Kent Swatsky. They are the Humboldt Taxpayers League, or they say they are. There's a member of the community, Paul Nicholson, that has been doing some digging, and he can't find out whether they're even an organization. I think he thinks that it's too just Kent and Uri calling themselves that. There used to be a Humboldt Taxpayers League. It was an organized group. I've spoken before them, you know, when I worked for the city of Arcata. And these guys, most of what they're saying is absolutely wrong. It's misleading. And you will actually, I just filed a thing with the county elections for the voter pamphlet saying that. So basically I have put myself along with 4 other citizens are going to put our names where it counts, put it in writing that those guys are spreading misinformation and are misleading people. I don't know why they do that. You know, I've had discussions with Kent, and he says, when I talk to him about details, you know, he says, I'm autistic. I can't think that way. And then Uri, none of them have been to any of our meetings. None of them have, we've never seen Uri. He's never asked any questions. So it's a mystery to me why they're fighting this. I don't know. We need someone, a psychologist might be able to answer that because they're getting some kind of a thrill out of the notoriety they're getting, I guess.
So I'm going to have to, it's almost 8, and I know that I appreciate you bringing this issue to us, and I think it's important for people who this is going to impact to do your research, and so that you have the information you need to make a good decision for you. And I do appreciate you sharing this with us, because I know it's very difficult. It's a difficult situation, but you know, California is burning right now, and it's a scary thing. We're fairly fortunate up here, but not from house fires. Not, you know, we're all in a potential situation that we don't want to be in. And
can I just say one more thing, Maggie?
Sure.
As California burns, the CAL FIRE engines are leaving the county. So we're on our own. We don't have any backup. And so that's another reason that scares us, not having a shell of a fire district right now.
Yeah, boy. Well, thank you, Randy. We appreciate you coming and sharing this passion that you have to protect us. And we are going to make a donation to Tri-County Independent Living in your name, and we appreciate it very much. We'll go to the raffle now.
All right, like we said, the raffle is $20 and 2 gift certificates. So let's see who's going to win today. AJ.
A week late.
Yeah. You're going to win at least $5. Yep, $5. I'll send that to you through Venmo.
So I thought I would share this. I saw this. I think this was in Indianapolis, and it's a don't care, and it's a don't care sign, and I just thought it was cool, and we should always be crossing on the care signal. So, and a last little reminder, there's Greg with his Rotary signage. Wear a mask, don't make us ask. So I hope you all have a great weekend, and we will see you soon. Take care, everybody.